Well, hello, friends. I'm David Vos. It's good to see everybody today. Oh, wow. Most of the clouds are gone and the sun is shining. It's gorgeous. It's just a beautiful morning. Well, hope you're all having a wonderful day where you are. I wanted to do a quick video, guys, on that video I did yesterday. I've done several videos debunking the flat earth theory, if you could say it's a theory. But what I wanted to say today is you guys don't be fooled. There's a lot of people, every time I make a video that says anything about a flat earth, I've got about 50 to 100 comments or more within the first few hours of people so nasty and ignorant. Yes, I'm sorry if any of you out there that are real people that literally tuned into my channel because you wanted to learn the truth, I'm sure you'll still stay and you'll watch. And honestly, not to be rude or anything, friends, but I don't have time to think about how what I believe affects people who don't want to hear it. Or, in other words, I'm here to teach what I believe, what I've learned, esoteric wisdom, truth. I understand that some people don't agree with me, and that's all right. But if you're so closed-minded that look, I understand if you want to unsubscribe because you don't agree with me and stuff, that's fine. I mean, of course, you should watch videos that you like. But when I mean closed-minded, I mean hurtful and mean and showing ignorance, showing vileness. I don't want to say vile. I don't know how to say it, but look, I think most of the people have to be robots. When people at first were saying, "Oh, well, there's just all these robots and they're paid to come on YouTube and make comments," I thought, well, really? I mean, that'd be a lot of money, I guess. I don't know. How much would it? And I was thinking, well, maybe not, because one person could make a lot of comments in one day, and you could pay that person, what, $50 a day, $100 a day, to make thousands of comments all across YouTube, and you could hire hundreds of them. Wouldn't cost that much. If you were really trying to put out propaganda, the government would do such a thing. And now we know, and we have proof that that's going on, because Sean Hannity was almost shut down over a bunch of false YouTube accounts and Facebook accounts and false propaganda being put out that was paid for by the elite to try and drum up some fake hate that didn't exist. But they got shown, they got exposed. The problem is people are going to forget about this in 5 minutes and they go right back to believing it. So there's a bunch of you out there that are real people, and some of you do believe in the flat earth. There are a few people, but most of you, I want to warn you, if you think you're in a group of people that's a large group, that there's a lot of people in the world today that doesn't believe the earth is round, it's just not true. Most people believe the earth is round, and if there was anybody who believed the earth was flat, it's somebody who's uninformed. I'm sorry, friends. Friends, think about it. What do you... your argument is we don't know, that we can't trust NASA, we can't trust our government. And so I don't trust our government. My goodness. They've been teaching that the earth was round since Aristotle. And that's what I teach, is the wisdom of Aristotle and Plato. The wisdom of the philosophers of the ancient days, the esoteric wisdom. So I think Newton was a genius. He was an esoteric believer. He believed the earth was round, friends. If you don't believe in the wisdom of Newton, then you don't believe in physics. And if you don't, you're just misinformed. We have actual math that proves the earth is round, friends. It's called geometry and calculus. Newton invented calculus. Pythagoras invented geometry so they could, for precisely this reason, so that they could show how large the earth is, whether it was round, where we were in relation to the sun and the other stars. There was a time when they didn't have this information, and they thought that we revolved around, the sun revolved around us and stuff. And then with geometry, and then later with calculus, they were able to determine that we were going around the sun. Of course, today we realize that that may not even be true, because it's really relative to where you're at. And we're not necessarily going around the sun, but we're following it in the wake of its vortice. And this is something that's a new truth that very few people understand. But most scientists understand this. They just don't talk about it really, because it's kind of like trying to talk to a flat earther and tell them that the earth is round. People don't grasp it because they're still stuck in some mind. There's no way that a scientist can explain to all of you how calculus works and geometry in just a sit down. Just, all right, look, the calculations, the figures, the understanding, the wisdom has been going on for thousands of years. We've got ancient wisdom in the Sumerian tablets that proves that they understood all of this thousands of years ago. So I suspect that most of you who are blasting my channel with all of this hate and ignorance, I'm unsubscribing, all right, fine. But you don't need to tell us when you don't need to be rude, and you don't need to be hateful. But that's all right if you want to do that. But I'm just giving you my opinion. And it just proves to me that most of you out there that are putting forth all this hate are really just robots. And I'm just saying this, not to be mean, but I'm saying this because there's a lot of people out there that are real people trying to learn, and you're influencing them. And so some of those people are on my channel. I want you guys to understand that most of the people are being paid to spout all this hate on my channel and not many others. And especially on something that's propaganda. They want us to believe, like you put something out against Hillary Clinton, and bam, ooh, you're going to have a bunch of robots. Oh, we love her, she's great. Come on. There are very few people in the world really love Hillary Clinton. There's a few, but they are misinformed because they don't realize that she's committed atrocities, that she's working for the banks and the elite, and she has no interest in helping and loving and caring for human beings. But everybody is entitled to their opinion, even if it's misinformed. And nobody has a perfectly informed opinion. Nobody knows everything. Nobody. We need to be polite and understanding with people. And if you have an argument that can help people understand something better, then let's hear it. But to be mean and rude is wrong. And so I'm making this video for those of you who watch my channel and think, when these comments come out, that these are all real people. Most of them aren't. Don't be influenced by all of this nonsense. What do you expect? If you say you don't believe government, you don't believe that NASA, all right, so I understand that. And that's good. I don't think you should believe anyone. You should investigate for yourself. But what do you think the Earth would be then if it's not round? When you look out into the space and you see planets and you see the moon, and you can see how it has that round curve. Not only you can see it's a round moon, but three-dimensionally with the shadows, you can see it's round. Just with your own eyes. You can see the sun is round with your own eyes. You can see it going around the earth. Okay, what do you expect the earth to be? I mean, it's never made any sense to me whatsoever that somebody would say the earth is flat. Okay, I could qualify that and say, well, it's like a donut or something. All right, maybe. I could see where you'd come up with something like that, because the earth is a little bit like a donut. It does have a little indentation on both sides. And so perhaps I could understand if you said that there's some sort of dimensional, distortion. We don't understand how the shapes of things and so forth. Or maybe it's not really round and it's an egg shape, or it's a sort of a big rock with, not like a undefined corners or whatever. But since we can get in an airplane, go all the way around the Earth, in some way or another, the Earth has got to be round if we're going around the Earth and come back same spot. I know you say, well, it's a disk and we're just going around the disk, but so if it's just a disk and it's just sitting there in space, what's under the Earth? Are there people under the Earth? Like upside down? That's kind of like a round Earth, only it's less thick. Just a real flat donut shape maybe, okay? You could speculate all year, but without calculus, physics, and huge telescopes and equipment and millions of dollars, you'd never be able to prove any of your theories. What do you expect? What shape do you think that the Earth really is? What is your suspicion? I don't know, it's flat, right? How is the Earth flat? Does the water run off? Because I know, and you say, well, that's crazy, that's a stupid question. Well, you're the one saying that if the Earth was round, the water would fall off on the other side of the Earth. A lot of you guys are saying that. Well, if it was round and it was, and why would there be gravity, this and that and everything, and how come the water stays on the other side of the Earth? It would be moving around and the wind would be blowing so fast if we were moving that fast. That's the comments that I'm getting. It's ridiculous. Because the same thing goes if the Earth is flat. If the Earth is flat, then the water would fall off the sides. The only explanation is true science, which says that there's an equilibrium force applied on all sides. And the center is gravity-less. It has no gravity in the center. And all of these studies and theories have been going on for ages, and very wise and important scientists have marked down verifiable experiments, one by one, from the days of Aristotle to today, and they have verified one fact upon another fact. They don't know everything, and we don't know if they're even correct, because now we're realizing the Earth really, we're not even really, the physical world is just more or less an illusion, like a hologram. So in a sense, you could say, yeah, it is just, we may find out someday that the Earth really isn't the way we think it is, because we're always learning. But when that day comes, there will be scientific evidence and proof that will be undeniable. But for amateurs in their backyard, just looking across the bay at some city and looking at ships going over the horizon and trying to figure out whether or not the Earth is round, that's not enough evidence. That's not enough empirical evidence. But I'm saying this to people who are really confused and want to know the truth. For all of you robots out there, I don't know what to tell you. You're harming your own race, the human race. I don't care how much money they're paying you. You're hurting us. You're hurting the people. It's disinformation. It's lies. Stop it. On all subjects. You're a traitor to the human race if you are taking money to deceive, whether it's politics, science, just putting out confusion. Some of you say, well, I don't know, maybe I do believe it, right? You've convinced yourself maybe you believe the Earth is flat. But I don't think you've really thought it through. How in the world could the world be flat? Is it go on and on forever flat? The universe is just physical, and then air above it, and below it's what? Fire? What is it you've got in your mind you think that the Earth is like? Because I've never seen one video, one person explain any real workable science that has figured out all of the, you can't just say, well, the Earth is flat and that's it. All right, so what is space? What are stars? What is the moon? Give me the dimensions. Tell me the speeds. Tell me the velocity. Tell me, you've got to have a whole science behind it. You can't just, like, oh, I believe that trees are really butterflies. Yeah. All right. Well, then, What are butterflies? What are flies? What are mountains? What are rivers? Rivers come down and bring water from the mountains, which is put there by the snowpack. They empty into the oceans. I mean, there's a whole science. You can explain from the top to the bottom. Everything's going on. We understand that the Earth is round because we know geometry, calculus. We understand velocity, equilibrium, certain physical laws that was established by Newton. With angles, we're able to determine the distance between the Earth and the Moon. We've got so many instruments. I mean, they're not even working with just telescopes anymore. They're working with microwaves, gamma rays. I just showed you a picture of the Space Shuttle Discovery going around the Earth, and you're like, oh, that's fake. Oh, I don't believe any of that. Come on. It's, and you're like, well, if that's the government, why didn't they use better film? You really think you're going to stick a camera out the window 350 miles above the Earth and snap Polaroid color film? I mean, come on. There's reasons why they use certain films, certain cameras. Someone said, oh, it's infrared. Well, it might be. And so, well, that's why it wasn't blue marble, Dave. My point wasn't that the Earth isn't blue. Obviously, water is blue. My point is that when you get way away from the Earth and look back, all you see is a planet. Like when we're looking at the moon. Just because the moon looks like gray doesn't mean it's actually gray. The moon there may be trees and water and everything else up there. We can't tell from here. It just looks gray. It's like, if you ever noticed how, like, when you're standing on the Earth, you look at a mountain, it's 7,000 feet in the air, 10,000 feet, and it looks huge. But if you get back 350 miles, it's just like a pimple. You can't even tell there's a mountain there. It's just all blurry. So my point was that the pictures that we have coming from NASA with the stars and all the planets and stuff with all this, intricate details, that's been digitally enhanced by NASA. That's just a fact. They will admit that. Those aren't actual pictures. That's all I was trying to say. But anyway, I love you guys, and I just don't want you to be fooled. I want you to understand what's really going on, that most of all this information that's being disseminated about the flat Earth is being done by robots and by disinformation artists who are being paid. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to. And